Welcome to the Simply Pediatrics Podcast, simplifying holistic healthcare for infants and children. We're so glad you're here. Join Jennifer Zethner, holistic pediatric nurse practitioner and holistic mom of 3 on a mission. Listen in as she shares the answers to the most asked questions from parents in her practice every day and offers parents practical strategies and actionable steps to support their child's health and well-being. Enjoy this insightful episode of the Simply Pediatrics Podcast and stay tuned for more information at the end of the podcast.
Hi, I'm Jennie Zethner. That's right, I'm here in my car. I don't know about the rest of you, but I find sitting in my car to be very peaceful. It happens to be one of the quietest places I have in my life. I have 3 children. I work full time. I'm busy like the rest of you, and I really would like to share information, and doing it from my car is most convenient. So I'm going to ask you to please forgive if there's any commotion behind me, any beeping, any dogs barking, ambulances, fire trucks, etc. I'll do the best I can to find quiet places. I assure you I will never be driving my vehicle when I speak to you. I will always be pulled over and parked. I am typically parked waiting for one of my children to come out of an event or something. So that is what I'm doing with my time here. And I look forward to sharing information with you. And again, forgive me for being a little unprofessional being here in my car, but I hope it works. And with that, let's get started.
Today's episode, Talking with Your Toddler, Part 1.
Hello and welcome. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Today I'm going to talk about talking with your toddler. This is always fun for me in the office when I have parents there with their toddler, and kind of just like teachable moments really for me. A toddler really starts around 1-year-old and goes until about 3. And these are our children who are starting to get their words. They understand what we're talking about. Even your 1-year-old mommy and daddy, they understand what we're saying, which is just amazing to me. You know, all the receptive language comes first. They know their name. They know the word no. They understand us. And really, you know, they can't really talk back to us so much yet, but they can understand everything that we're talking about. And so a really nice technique to use with your child when they are about to have a temper tantrum or you're trying to prevent a temper tantrum is to use a sentence that starts with, I know you. And even more impactful is to use their name, like Joseph. I know you want that mug off the counter, right? So a sentence like that looks like this, like they're trying to get at the mug that's on the counter and they can't have it. And you say to them, Joseph, I know you want the mug, you can't have it. And then just stay quiet. And that's where the magic happens. Get down to their level, kneel down. Try to make a practice of kneeling down to your child. It's much more impactful than them looking up at you. Kneel down. You'll see me do this in the office a lot. I try to get down to their level. Joseph, I know you want the mug. You can't have it right now. And see what happens. What you're doing with that sentence is you are acknowledging them. And when they know that they're being heard, often, not all the time, but often it will quiet or even get rid of the temper tantrum. It's a pretty amazing thing to try. If you have a toddler at home, I'm telling you, try it right now. Try it right now. Use that sentence and see what happens. We do this instead of distracting them, bribing them, or over-explaining. So let me tell you what those look like, right? These are the common parenting tools we use that are not quite as successful as using the I know you statement for a toddler. So there's a mug up on the counter and your child wants to get at it. And you say, no, you can't have that. Here's this instead, right? So that's bribing. That's saying no. And then that's bribing. It often does not quiet a temper tantrum, depending on what you're giving them. And what it does is it teaches them that, you know, you can be bribed and you can get something even better than the thing that you were trying to get to. I'll go more into that in a moment, right? So we'll meet there, you know, they're trying to get at something, we tell them no, and we bribe them with something even better to get them to stop crying. Right? Our goal, right, as parents, we're always trying to get our kids to stop crying. Or you distract them. No, you can't have that mug. look at the bird up in the tree, or look at the dog over there, right? So that's distracting. That works for a quick minute, and then they're back to whatever it is that they were trying to get at, right? Right? Toddlers are very persistent. If they want something, they will not let up, and they will continuously ask for it. So we distract, we bribe, and the other thing we do as parents very often is we just over-explain. And kids just do not need the word. They don't need all those words. They literally drown in them, and they kind of shut down, or they have an even bigger temper tantrum. And what does that look like? No, you can't have the mug because my hot coffee is in it. And if you pick up that hot coffee, it could burn you, and then we'd have to go to the hospital. Way too much for a child, and can actually make them become more fearful and anxious. So that's way too many words for your child. Even if your child can talk and you know they understand everything that you're saying, it can be real confusing for families when they have like the 2-year-old with the big full sentences, which is, amazing. When we have our 2-year-olds that can talk and explain and really, tell us a lot, and we understand what they're saying. That's hard to parent because you'll find yourself engaging and, in fact, almost debating and arguing with your 2-year-old. Try to remind yourself they're 2, and it's wonderful that they can speak so well, but they're not emotionally capable of really understanding and getting all those words. So less is always better. Less words. So I know you. Acknowledge them, no matter what it is, no matter what it is that they want. I know you want to go out that door. We can't go out that door right now. And then be quiet and still. And they'll go out to the door again. I know you really want to go out that door. Can't go out that door right now. And be consistent with it. And you'll see them kind of quiet down, or they'll have a big temper tantrum. And it's really important that we allow our children to have a temper tantrum. I'm sure with my firstborn, I was the same. I'm sure with my first, I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle the screaming and the yelling, and I would do anything I could to get them to stop. And I see that a lot in my office, and I hear that a lot from families. I just need them to stop crying. I'm going to do whatever I can. Try really hard not to, parents. Children don't learn from being bribed. They really don't. And in fact, what we do when we bribe our kids, right? No, you can't have the mug. Here's a toy instead. No, you can't have that, but here's this instead. Yeah, you're teaching them that they're going to become a little entitled, right? They're not having an experience of being disappointed. You are robbing them of their experience, which helps them to learn, right? When they're disappointed, when they're angry, when they're upset, right? Just letting them be, right? Letting them have that experience. It teaches them resilience, how to self-soothe, how to become patient, right? It's really important that we let children have their experience. They learn through their experience. They don't learn from us bribing them to stop them from having their experience. And I know kids can be real willful. I've seen it with my own children. I see it in the office all the time. You can use that I know you statement. It can quiet a little bit, and then they'll come right back at you. Just allow for it. Allow them to have that experience. You will be grateful that you did, because you'll be very proud when your child is out of that toddler stage and they're entering into preschool and they're starting to get along with other children and they have to follow the directions of other adults around them, and they can handle it. They can handle some disappointment. Right? They can handle their teacher saying, I'm sorry, you can't have the blue pencil because Johnny has it. They can say, okay, and they can walk away. If they don't learn how to self-regulate and how to be resilient and how to have some patience, they'll have a temper tantrum there. And that's not really appropriate anymore. I know you statements, to me, when I use them in the office, I don't have any toddlers in my life anymore. So when I get to use it in my office, I'm just amazed all the time. And I point it out to families. I'll use it, the first thing I'm doing is I'm listening to the heart rate, right? So I'll take my stethoscope out, and you'll see me. I don't do too many gimmicks. I don't have dolls. I don't have distractions. I don't try to bribe them. I'm going to listen to your heart. I know you don't want me to touch you. I'll acknowledge them. A toddler at those, early ages where they still have that stranger anxiety does not want me going near them. I get it. I'll say, I know you don't want me to touch you. I'm going to. And I'll follow that with a hug mommy, give mommy big hugs. Mommy has you. And then I'll repeat it. I know you don't want me touching you. I'm going to. And very often they'll quiet down. They'll get it. I've acknowledged them. And then I'll continue on my way. And then I'll teach that to parents while we're in the room. I'll show them that. It's a really incredible skill to have and a tool, and it works really well. So start using it right now with your toddlers. If you don't have toddlers anymore and you have other family members that have toddlers, show them, use it. It's really, really powerful. It almost feels magical when you use it, especially when you use it with their name. Johnny, I know you want to go out the door, but can't do that right now. Quiet. See what happens. All right, parents. Remember that parenting is a journey and you're doing an amazing job. Stay curious and keep learning, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining Jennie on the Simply Pediatrics podcast. We hope that the valuable information she shared in this episode will inspire and empower you on your holistic parenting journey. If you would like to learn more about Jennie, her Simply Pediatrics practice, or anything that she spoke about today, please check the show notes that accompany this podcast and you'll find all the links and resources you need. You can also sign up for the Simply Pediatrics mailing list so that you receive Jennie's weekly newsletters packed with vital information and holistic parenting journeys. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please consider giving this page a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any episodes. And don't forget to connect with us by sharing your thoughts in the comments section below. Follow Simply Pediatrics on any and all of the social media platforms. And if you're interested in an in-person or a virtual appointment with Jennie, please see the contact details in the show notes. Stay tuned for more episodes packed with a wealth of powerful information to support you on your holistic parenting path. See you next time.